Hi, I'm Barclay Hoare. I'm Chairman of Chartered Wealth Solutions and one of the retirement planners at the company. When it comes to retirement planning, one of the most critical elements of the plan is to establish how to develop an investment strategy for a client. In other words, how do we invest your money properly? And what we see so often happen is that an attempt is made to understand a client's risk profile. In other words, at the beginning of the equation, risk is put at the front. And from there, once you've established the amount of risk that a client can tolerate, you're able to put them into a portfolio that matches that risk. In other words, making sure that you've complied with the client's wishes and also in terms of complying with the law. The problem that we see, though, is that portfolio is going to determine a return very similar to what it targets based on your personal tolerance for risk. And the final step of the equation is the return will determine your lifestyle. Now, although this is a completely legitimate way of doing financial planning, we don't believe that your lifestyle should be the result of an equation and perhaps many, many years of work. That in actual fact, your lifestyle in retirement is what the money's for in the first place. So we believe that the equation should actually start with your lifestyle, that we should make an attempt to find out exactly how it is you want to live your life in retirement. And if we can do that, and if we know what assets you have available to you, what your investments are, how much money you have available to you in retirement, then we can simply work out the return that is appropriate for you. So you'll notice that we're actually working backwards through this equation, which is quite unusual in the industry. If we can identify what return you need to target, now mathematically we can tell you exactly what return you need. Obviously the markets will determine whether we can get that return for you or not. But if we know what that return is, we can build a portfolio that targets that return with as little risk as possible and as much certainty as possible. And the final step is not to ask a client how much risk they can stomach, but to tell them how much risk they'll have to stomach in order to live that lifestyle off the assets that they have. At this point, the client can either say to us that they can stomach the risk or not. If they can't stomach the risk, we go around the equation again and we have another look at the lifestyle. We go around and around this process until such time as the client is comfortable with the lifestyle that we have budgeted or put in their spending plan, the return they require, the portfolio most likely to give that return with as little risk as possible, and quantifying the risk. And then the most recent work we've done is to enhance the lifestyle planning process by putting in an entirely new step called life planning. What we found at Chartered Wealth Solutions over the years is that we were making assumptions about what sort of a lifestyle a client wants to live in retirement, because they haven't yet at this point in time had a chance to plan it. So what we offer to a client on a voluntary basis is a life planning meeting in order for them to explore what it is they want to do in retirement, to build a bucket list, to make sure that they're on the same page with their spouse, to make sure that the difficulties that they may experience, which we see so often in the first 2 years of experience, the first 2 years of retirement, are dealt with adequately. And that in fact, what we are planning for is an accurate lifestyle and one that's unique and authentic to your needs.